So I'm here with my client Heather from Naturally Present, and Heather helps women to transform their money stories. So welcome, Heather.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much.
So good to have you here all the way from Canada. And so share what life was like for you in your business before the coaching.
Yeah, before the coaching, it was very piecemeal, and I'm an exceptionally organized person in my life and in my space and area, but the business was not. There wasn't I didn't have the systems and the daily tasks, the routines of the daily tasks down. And so I was trying a little bit of this and trying a little bit of that. There wasn't any coherence or cohesiveness around what I was doing. So it was very piecemeal. You know, there might be a success here and then nothing for weeks and then something here, but nothing concrete and gelling, if that makes sense.
It does. It does make sense. And so you came to work with me, firstly, privately, I think. Is that right?
Yes, that's
And
right.
then you came into the Fierce Feminine and Free group program. So what's been your experience of the programs?
I love it. There's so many different layers and levels to it. Number one, making that investment in me and myself has been huge, right? That really, for me, solidifies the commitment and the drive, and makes it a business as opposed to just sort of something I'm doing on the side. And the programs and coaching with you has helped me to find the structure. And I know each day now what I need to be doing. There's lots of flexibility for the flow and things like that, but there's been a lot more structure in what I do now. And so because of that, I start to gain traction and see some things happening because I'm more centered. I'm clear on what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing each day. I've scheduled it out, which I do great for my family and all the other things except for my business prior to really landing in this coaching with you.
And I know part of what we worked on together at the beginning was you prioritizing your business, because you were prioritizing everybody else and taking care of family, and you were working in a few other people's businesses and you were doing all of that, and then your business was getting a little bit left over, if there was anything left over. So
Pretty much.
yeah, so part of what I encouraged you to do, well, I asked you first of all, is this priority for you? And you said it is. And I encouraged you to treat it seriously and to treat it like you meant it. And we speak a lot about, is this a hobby or a career? And so what kind of changed for you in your thinking, and what did you do to make that switch?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of it was the mindset, like working through the archetypes with you and being able to land in that place within myself before even doing any of the tasks. Like there was an internal switch. I still have other businesses that I support, but now I have a schedule. So I know this is my time for my business. This is my time for this. This is my family time. So it's a lot more organized, which I love. But yeah, I'd have to say primarily it was the internal mindset switch. It was about flipping my position within my own business to that of the CEO, right? The director, the leader.
Right, interesting. And then you showed up in a different way and
Yeah.
started doing the things that would get you clients and move you forward. That's great. And I know part of the conversation we had was because both of us really value feminine energy and flow, and that has to be a part of it, and alignment. And so at the very beginning, there was a little bit of resistance around the masculine structures. So what changed there?
Yeah. I think it kind of touches on what I said before, it's the systems and the structure, having that container so that I'm still free to do the feminine flow and jump on into the lives and do all that stuff that I really am passionate about, but having the systems and the structures, that container in place to do the little bits that I need to do in order to keep moving forward, to keep it as an actual business as opposed to just some la 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 free flow thing that I do, right? That's for me has been powerful. And also just finding the balance between the masculine and the feminine within myself and understanding that there has to be space for both. Like you can't do it just one way, right?
Beautiful. The masculine really provides that structure and container for the feminine to then flow and be free. So I've loved seeing that progression in you and how you have adopted that and made it your own and how you find the balance with it. So that's been beautiful to see. And
Thank you.
What specific results have you achieved since you started the coaching?
Well, I feel like it's number one result, I have a business as opposed to a hobby. Bringing on a client, booking sales calls. I have another client coming in later this week. I have booked my first speaking gig coming up in December.
Right.
I have a book coming out, a co-authored book on December 1st. And so for me, those are all sort of things that I have had in the back of my mind that I want to do. But I feel like with this landing of myself and the balancing of the masculine and feminine, I've learned how to say yes and how to actually take action and
Mm,
move those things forward rather than just kind of hoping and wishing the feminine, oh, one day actually stepping forward and saying yes and making these things happen and being
amazing.
open and available, right?
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And I believe you've created a Facebook group as well.
I have a Facebook group. There's engagement going on. I do my weekly lives, and yeah, I love it. And I find just having that space of being able to support people who are on the same journey has been amazing, where we all can come together and just share. So yeah, and that's gained traction. That's growing each week, and
So
yeah,
how many people did you have in that at the beginning of us working together, and how many people do you have in there now?
I think I was around 30 when we started, and now I have 130 actually.
Wow, congrats again.
Thanks.
Brilliant. And what you're doing there is bringing in leads, potential leads, and
Yeah,
building a community, and then nurturing them with your Facebook lives and your content, and then inviting some of them to become clients.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, it's good.
Amazing. Good. So, where from here? Where are you
Mm.
headed next?
I'm That's a great question. There's more room for growth in the business. So that's where I'm headed. I'm headed into that growth. So it is a full schedule. At the same time, I've also taken on some additional training in another field that merges perfectly, the quantum flow techniques, and that merges really, really well with my coaching. So I have a vision to bring those together and to create retreats. So I have a tentative one booked for the spring, COVID depending. So we'll see how that goes. But I do, yes, fingers crossed. So I do see that as future. I do see more paid speaking gigs as well,
Okay.
and just being able
Amazing.
to. What's that?
Amazing. And I
Yeah.
can see you doing all of those things. And
Mm.
especially, I think you would do amazing retreats. So, yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, that's really where I'd like to go for sure.
great. And if anyone is, sitting on the fence, considering joining, either getting some private coaching with me or considering joining Fierce Feminine and Free, what would you say to them?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say jump, take the leap of faith, and trust. Yeah, you have to trust yourself. I know it's scary, and I know that it's really not about the money. That's more about you believing in yourself, right? It's a catalyst. It's just an energetic, for me anyway, it was an energetic transformation of how I was inside myself by making that commitment through this monetary form. And so I would say do it. It's time to either not do it and let it go, or do it and move forward.
Right, right. Yes. And I remember you saying that when you made the decision to dive in.
Yeah.
And I like what you said, which is for you, it was investing in yourself. And oftentimes I'll say that to people because they say, oh, I don't know whether to invest with you, Julie. And I say, well, you're not investing in me or even in my program. You're investing in yourself, in your business. And yes, it has to be the right fit, and it has to provide what the person needs, but ultimately it's investing in yourself.
Yeah. One of the things I value most, Julie, about our experience is having a coach. Really, it holds up the light to the spots that I can't see. If I could have seen them, I would have seen them a long time ago. I can help other people see them, but it's really hard sometimes to turn that around on yourself. And so with our experience, you have been that for me, where because I've made that commitment and I've made that decision, and there you are holding up a mirror for me to see, it was much quicker to shift things, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Amazing. And it's because you've been willing to do the work and willing to go there and, committed, taking the action, willing to look at the difficult things, willing to look at the blind spots. And that is why you've got the traction, and that is why you will continue to have growth. So massive congratulations to you. Is there anything you would like to add for anyone considering, joining one of the programs?
I will say that my own experience also includes doing all the freebies, all the things that didn't cost money, and trying to piece it together, and working with you, picking the coach to work with, picking the right program. It's not even 10, it's 100 times quicker and exponential. And so, yeah, it's just time to do it. And you're amazing. And I love your balance of masculine and feminine, how you have brought that clearly into what I'm trying to do, so that it's not, you're not, you do business like a woman and there's the feminine aspect, but you've got these amazing structures and systems in everything that you do, whether it's private or a program. And so, yeah, highly recommend. 5 stars for anyone who's listening.
Oh, thank you. I'll put that one on my Facebook page. Amazing, Heather. Well, it is always a pleasure working with you, and I know that we will continue in some way, shape or form in our journey together. So, and I love seeing your progress and how things unfold. So do come back and update us, and thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Julie. Thank you.